I am Mrs. Green.
And I am Mrs. Ablin. We are your new team for third grade. We're so excited to meet you and get to know you. We just wanted to tell you a little bit about ourselves before we get going on the third grade expectations.
Yes.
I'm a mother of two grown men, Ben and Gabe. They're both adults. I've been teaching at St. John's, I think, for 12 years. Before that, I taught for 5 or 6 years at Norris Elementary Public School. And I'm so grateful to be here. I'm so grateful to be able to pray with your children and things that we couldn't do like that in public school. But I'm looking forward to getting to know you and working with you for the betterment of your child.
Yes. And I'm Mrs. Green. I have been here for about 11 years or so, well, as a teacher, and then for the rest of my life at the school and the church. I grew up at St. John's. I went through St. John's from preschool through 8th grade with my husband. Mr. Green started in kindergarten.
Mr. Green standing behind the camera right now. He's been kind enough to help do this for us.
So it's really a family thing. But we went through St. John's together, graduated 8th grade. So I know St. John's. St. John's is my family. We've been here and we love it. And I know the friendships and relationships that you're going to grow this year and as you continue on here at St. John's. It's a pretty cool thing to get to see and to continue to encourage. I have two stinky little boys, two Mrs. Ablin's big boys.
Stinky
yes.
boys.
I have a 6-year-old and a 2.5-year-old. And they are here on campus with us, and it's just so fun to get to continue that circle and now have our own kids here with us on campus. It's a pretty neat thing.
Pardon me. It's fun to see her little boys running around. They're in the classroom. They know everything that goes on in here. They want to know where the books are, why they've been moved. It's a real gift to have family in the classroom.
It so is. Well, we'd love to welcome you and open up with a prayer. So if you would, wherever you are, whatever you're doing when you watch this video, if you would just join us in prayer as we go to our God. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for the gift of this new year that you are giving us. We thank you for bringing us through the challenges of last year, and we thank you for sustaining us through whatever challenges come to us this year. Lord, we thank you so much for these families that you're putting into our lives this year. We thank you for the kids and the connections and relationships that we're going to be able to grow together. And Lord, I pray that you will be with our families as they enjoy those last moments of summer, calm any nerves, continue the excitement of those who are excited, and we just pray that you will bless this upcoming year together. In your precious name we pray.
Amen.
All right, well, third grade is a wonderful team effort between Mrs. Ablin and I. We are the perfect combination of opposites.
Old, young.
Well, there are many more. But we work so well together. When I need help growing and moving in one direction, she pulls me. And when she needs help growing and moving in one direction, I pull her, and it's just, we have this perfect combination.
Far from perfect. We're definitely kind of a yin and yang team because we see things from totally different perspectives. And it makes the third grade experience even better because we continue to learn from one another just the way we learn from your kids.
Yes.
We're constantly adapting.
Yes. And we work really closely together to make sure that we're pacing our classrooms just about the same. You know, we'll get off one or a lesson or so here and there, but we try to work pretty much at the same pace on the same things, which is especially important when we have twins in that classroom, which we do this year. We're excited to have them, but we'll try really hard to make sure that that is an easy transition for you guys to have one in each class, but still be doing the same things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Third grade is a big transition year. We need your help. It's challenging to allow them to work independently when you want to be there and help with everything. But we're asking you to step back a little, which allows them to step forward a little bit. It's a fascinating dance. Some of you we call to help more. Some of you we encourage to step back,
Yes.
depending on your family dynamics. We understand all of that, or we try to. We still want you to monitor them because the responsibility that we're asking them to pick up is great. It's a hugely different year from second grade. So we want you to monitor them. We want you to check on their work, be in the background. But background is a key word for third grade.
Yes, it's so important.
It's harder for you than it is for them
Yes, it
to
is.
step back because they sometimes will take advantage of the situation and try and work you a little
You
bit.
don't know about that, do you?
Yeah, have your kids ever done that before? The version of stories or tales that they will tell you are sometimes different from what actually is happening. We encourage creative thinking, but
Not too creative.
so as we move throughout the year, you'll feel us releasing control a little bit also. In the beginning, we pace through everything, we go slow. I think I'm stepping on Amanda's lines, but
That's okay.
we start slow and then we allow them, we expect more and more independence, and it's nothing they cannot do. We've been doing this for a little bit, and you'll just be amazed
It's a
at what
beautiful
they can do.
transition. It's a big one, but it's a beautiful transition to watch and see them grow throughout this third grade year. So your first moment of really allowing them to be independent is at drop-off in the morning. So our school drop-off is going to stay similar to what it was last year. We're going to ask you to drop them off at the gates. We don't have specific gates yet. I assume it'll be similar to last year. Our main third grade drop-off is our gates right outside the school office, but there are, family drop-offs and things like that. So we ask you to say goodbye at the gates, and they know where to go. It's so fun to see all those kids running across the field to get to their classrooms. They want to be first in the classroom. It's just so great, so fun to see. So they'll be running in, coming into our classroom, greeted by their teacher clutching her coffee cup with a big smile and sleepy eyes, ready for them, so excited to welcome them. So we'll be getting them used to a new morning routine. By day 3, they've got it down. It's so cool to see. They come in, they chat with their buddies, catch up on what happened last night, and they just get right to it. So we'll get them prepared in that way, and they're so ready for this.
They will be. We ask you to do whatever it takes to get your kids to school on time. We love it when we lay things out the night before. We talk to the kids about getting their stuff laid out the night before. When they finish their homework, put it in their backpack so you don't have as many things that seem trying to slow you down in the morning. Our mornings start really fast. We haven't got our final schedule yet, but if it's anything like last year, my kids, 4 mornings a week, we start school at 8:15 and we have to be somewhere at 8:20. We have to be to PE, so we move really fast in my classroom first thing in the morning. So being on time really helps us.
But it also helps, even in my class where we don't have those quick mornings, it helps us because they do have jobs and responsibilities to get done in the morning. And when they're not there, they don't have as much time to get that work done. Some of them don't need as much time, but some of them really do. So please make sure that you're being mindful of that so that they can get in and get their responsibilities taken care of.
If you need to get information to us, a time-sensitive nature, like I was able to get into the dentist and I'm going to be pulling him out of school a little bit early in the afternoon, don't email that to us. Call the office. The gang at the front office knows when we're at the library or wherever we are, and they can find us and get the pertinent information to us. Regular emails, just email.
Yes.
We check our email first thing in the morning, and we check our emails after school. So we'll find out what you need and get back to you as soon as we can.
Yes. If you email later in the evening, there's a good chance we're not going to see it until that following morning, because our school hours, our school days, some days we're here until 4:35, and then other days it's wrestling practice night for Eli, and so I have to bolt out of here and go get him to practice, or there'll be dentist appointments and things like that. So between 3:30 and 4:35 is when we're around on campus and checking our emails. But after that, we might not get back to you until the next morning.
But
we'll
we will.
always
We will get back to you.
Yeah. Hopefully you've been able to sign up for your supply drop-off and parent meeting. This is going to be a great time for us to come together. Hopefully you will have watched this video first and prepared any questions you might have for this upcoming year. We'll get to chat with your student, help them set up their desks, walk them through some of the new stuff that they're going to have. It's a really great time to come together. As you're purchasing your items for supply drop-off, please be mindful of the limited space that we have. We know that the box of 152,000 crayons is super fun. Keep it at home. We don't have the space. So whatever the numbers are that we wrote on that supply list, please stick to those numbers. Don't go above them. And also, if you have the mind to do it, you could put the crayons in a Ziploc bag and write their name on them. Put their colored pencils in a Ziploc bag and write their name on them, because those boxes break pretty quickly throughout the year. So if you just stick them in a bag ahead of time, they'll be perfect for us.
It's still you. Do you want me to take that?
No, that's okay. I just had to take a second to glance. Here we go. All right, this is a big one. It's a good transition. You guys are used to, if you've been at St. John's, working through Saxon math, and you had worksheets. You had a front side that they did in class and a back side that they did at home for homework. This is the year where we shift into the book, and it is a daunting, challenging shift for them and for you.
In the beginning. In the
Yes,
beginning.
in the beginning. And we are going to slowly walk them through this shift. They haven't had to copy down a problem from the book. And you know, of course, as they copy down 123, they write down 132. It's totally normal. But we're going to really walk them through that. We go very slow in the beginning. And they do get a little overwhelmed at times. Some of them do. But don't worry. We've got this. We're gonna walk them through it. Typically we'll do half of the problems in their lesson together, and then we leave half of the problems that we picked for them to do as their homework. So you'll have a little bit of homework in the evenings, which
They'll have a little bit of homework in the
yes,
evenings.
yes, thank you.
We ask that you let them do everything they can themselves, and then come to you when they're stuck on something. And if you just look through, just give an eyeball, because really their homework should come back to us in great shape. There shouldn't be lots of problems that they've missed. If you see something that looks funny, you could say, oh, you might want to look at number 7 again and see what you think. And it's usually when they just give it a second glance, they catch it and they can fix it. But after you've been through the front side and the back side, just their homework problems, if you would initial that, it's really important, because they start to figure out that you're going to be a part of this process, and we need your help.
Yes.
And they believe, after a while, they learn, okay, mom, dad, grandma, somebody's going to be looking at this.
Yes.
Big brother.
Yes.
You know.
And your participation in reviewing it each night is vital. You have to do this. We know that it gets tedious, but we really need you to partner with us so that they can succeed. So please make sure that you're making that a nightly routine of just checking and reviewing that with them and going over anything that they're struggling with.
Another thing we ask you to review, we have planners that come home daily.
Oh,
And at the end of the day, oh, look
I
at you.
know.
This is great.
I know.
We haven't talked about that. At the end of the day, we say stop, drop, and roll, and we have a big planner at the front of our board, and we write things down that they need to write down every day in their planner. And it's our time to communicate important upcoming things to you, let you know what's happening ahead. You don't have to study, you don't have to memorize it, but if you could just put your eyes on that, it will help you out immeasurably.
Yes.
And sign it. There's a little place to sign on there.
Yes, and so they'll just fill in the day with information. If there's nothing there, we cross it out. And just a little initial over on the side there. We always have parents, where do we sign? Just over there, or over here, or right there. It doesn't matter. As long as your signature is there somewhere. They'll also be writing down their words that they need to practice. You do that in your
From
planner
our
as well,
spelling
right?
pretest.
From our spelling pretest each week. So this is a big thing to make sure that you're aware of and looking at. So that's there for you.
Very important. In the beginning, you'll be asking them about it. What's this planner I heard about? So you can dig through their backpack and get it out. But really, as soon as you can, turn that responsibility over to them, so they come to you every day and say, here's my homework, here's my planner, here's what's happening. And along those lines, you want to get in their backpack every so often and just clean it out, see what's coming home. We grade things that you're going to want to see how we're grading it, what they need to change, what they need to do differently. And so the sooner you learn that, the easier homework nights are for you.
For some of your kiddos, If you don't check into their backpack and check their folders, you're going to have papers in there from the beginning of the year at the end of the year. So
It's
please,
so
it's
true.
so funny. So please, just make it a nightly routine of take out the folder, take everything out, look through things, review whatever maybe needs to be reviewed, and send them back with a clean folder and just their homework to turn in.
We have a take-home folder, so anything that goes home should stay home unless it's homework. After you've reviewed those papers, cleaned out that backpack, we beg you not to throw stuff away. We ask you to have a box to put all old papers in, just shove it under their bed. You don't ever have to look at any papers again, but it comes in really handy towards the end of the quarter when you see there's lots of missing grades, and sometimes I will have graded the paper and not entered it into the book, and it's all on me.
I
And
never do that.
I'm
Mrs.
sure you
Applin.
don't,
I do it
Mrs.
all the
Green.
time.
So if you have every piece of paper they've done, it's a big pile, but it just can be out of sight. And you can go through it and you can sometimes find missing papers and take care of that problem.
Yes, so please do save your stuff that comes home
Till the
just
end of the
until
quarter.
and then have a fun party of recycling or
Shredding.
whatever you do. I have something that is going to rock your worlds, and it's rocking Mrs. Ablin's world. We're making a big shift this year. We're big advocates for reading, daily reading. We want you reading because we want your kids to become lifelong readers who it's just something they love to do. But we're not going to do a reading log this year. I hear the gasps and the cheers and the hooplas. So
Cheers and cheers.
we realize that we don't need the possible fibs that sometimes come in, but we will see the proof of your reading because we encourage our AR program so much, which is our accelerated reader. When they've read a book, any book, at home, at school, anywhere, when they read a book, they can take a quiz, a comprehension quiz on it that tells us how well they've read it, if they understood, and it helps us to kind of figure out where they should be reading as well, what level they should be reading at. So that is going to become our new reading log, I suppose. Their proof of reading is going to be with their AR progress. So we're really excited for that shift. We know that you're probably excited for that shift, but we really do want you daily reading. Our favorite thing, yes, 20 minutes of reading every night. We're not asking you to write it down, but we're expecting you to do it. We love it when by second or third quarter, we have families coming and saying, our child will not leave a book at home. The book comes everywhere with us. We're out at a restaurant and our child is reading a book. That makes us so happy. So we're hopeful that we will be able to continue to do that and build these lifelong readers that we're
It's the most important thing, helping them to become real readers, happy readers is our main goal here at St. John's. And you have to help them build that muscle. Just sit down, find a quiet space. You can read with them.
Yes.
You can read
It
together.
doesn't have to be them reading independently. It could be you guys sharing a book
Back and
together.
forth.
Some of my favorite things growing up was sitting down with Harry Potter, and my mom and I would read together, or the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, all of those,
Oh,
that whole
C.S.
series,
Lewis.
yes, all of those.
Mhm.
I remember reading those with her. That counts. All reading, whether it's them reading to themselves, reading to you, you reading to them.
Just
It's so important.
We didn't write this down, Mrs. Green, but the way we do things, and it started, you've been doing it in second grade. They read a passage and they're asked questions about it, and they have to tell the page where they found the information. It's all based on them finding the answer in their reading. And so the more they can read and the more comfortable they become with not just reading to escape, but reading and storing the information that they've read, the sooner that happens, the more successful they'll be. On Thursdays, we will give the spelling test. And on Fridays, the next day, we'll give the spelling pretest for the following week. So on Friday, we give them a spelling pretest and the words, and we grade it together. We talk about all the sounds, and then the words they missed, if they missed any on the pretest, they write them in their planner for you to check, and then they write them in their spelling packet. And the spelling packet will be due the following week. And so we try and give that to you before the weekend. So if any of you want to get that out of the way over the weekend, you can. But anyway, so we give you a solid week to prepare for the spelling test. And in my class, do you do this, Mrs. Green? If our kids ace the pretest, they're done. because why would?
So you're gonna make me do that now too? Thanks, Mrs. Allen.
No, you can
It's
make
a
your
good
kids
thing
take
to
it.
adopt. Perhaps, perhaps I just adopted that. All right. Your child will have a missing assignment, and you feel like it's the end of the world. It's very normal. It is so normal. They all will have 1 or 2 or 20 throughout the year.
Sometimes it's horrible.
Yeah, yes. So most of the time it's in their desk, even though they've looked and they swear it's in their desk. My favorite thing to say in my classroom is, Mrs. Green can find anything, because I'll go and find that paper that they couldn't find.
And you will have done their spelling packet with them. You will have signed it showing that you participated in it, and they show the missing assignment the next day when we get it into the books, or the next couple days. And you'll say, I know it's there. They turned it in. It's in their desk.
Yes.
So that process of learning to be responsible about turning in their work, it takes a while, but we get there.
Yes. So keep an eye on Sycamore. That is the best way, because we don't communicate personally to you that there are missing assignments. The way that we communicate personally to you is through Sycamore. So make sure you're looking on Sycamore. The app is not as great. Going on the actual website to Sycamore is better for looking at assignments and grades and things like that. So stay on top of that. Save your papers, because sometimes it really is our fault. Mrs. Ellis and her team of resource people, specialists, they are just wonderful. They're all gems, and we are so excited to have them. It's a beautiful thing that we've been shifting into over the time that we've been here. She will be coming around, being a part of our classrooms, either her personally or people who are on her team. And they help us so much to catch little things, to notice where someone's struggling a little bit, and we really work to catch it quick and help them out. So she'll be coming in. There are times where she'll assess all of our students. So if you hear that your student got to visit with Mrs. Ellis that day, or one of her teammates,
It's a good thing.
It's a good thing, because we're really tracking and making sure that your kids are working in the right direction. And she's such a gem. I hope you guys get to meet her.
She's so tender. She's so gentle. She's such an encouragement for the kids. On to water containers. When you bring your babes back to school, it's super hot. And if you can give them a large, not a single-use water container, but one of those big, awful metal things, or whatever.
John, grab my water bottle. And it's my favorite color.
Water bottles are really important. They knock them over all day long.
Oh, yes.
It doesn't have to be anything fancy or special.
Yes.
We just ask that you have a great seal on yours, because it ends up all over the floor.
Yes,
every day.
and they spill, please, only water. We know they're sneaky
Oh.
sometimes.
Yeah.
We know they're sneaky sometimes because we see it. Please, only water in their water containers, and a good seal, like a screw top or something like that. It's so important.
And we break for snacks every day, and we ask that you send healthy snacks to your kids. You know, that wouldn't be potato chips. You know what's healthy. Fresh fruit. There's wonderful things to eat. And so we want to feed them with great fuel, because that's what's going to carry them through the rest of the day. So we ask that you monitor what they bring to school for morning snack.
We're hoping to have some good field trips this year. So if you hope to attend those field trips as a chaperone, we ask for only parents to be chaperones. We know it's so fun to have grandma or aunts or uncles come, but we really, please keep it just to mom or dad coming for our field trips. But we need to have a copy of your insurance and a copy of your driver's license in the office. If you do it once at the beginning of the year, they'll save it in the office for you the rest of the year. And we also require a live scan to be done in order to attend our field trips, or to do anything really on campus, because it's for the safety of our kids. We want to make sure that we are safe and doing the right things. So we have the live scan. If you've done it in the past, you don't have to do it again. But if you haven't done it, or if you're new to the school, you could do that live scan. So you could come and attend those field trips with us. They're fun.
When you come to supply drop-off next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, we'll give you some supplies. Also, parent survey, allergy information. If you're interested in extended care, we'll give you the form for that. And just bring it back when your kid comes to school on
Send it in their
17th.
folder.
Yeah.
one of my favorite things to talk about, along with reading. I do the Scholastic book orders for third grade. Scholastic is such a wonderful program that offers reasonably priced books for you and wonderful prices on book sets. So if your kids love those series, but you only have one or two, they have great prices on the whole set or little bundles of them. But I love the Scholastic because when you order books for your home library, it also provides us free books for our classroom libraries. And so I love to ask the kids, what are we wanting? What do you guys want to order this next time? And those books are almost always at no cost to me because of the orders that you guys do. And that's such a gift.
Thank you.
Such a gift to us.
Class code. We'll send you the class
Yes,
code.
I'll send you the class code, yes.
We dismiss every day at 3 o'clock, except we think on Tuesdays. Again, we haven't got the schedule yet. But so at 3 o'clock, your kids will come in the outside door and we'll go out the outside door of our classrooms and we'll go to that gate that's outside the school office, we think. And when we'll have our kids line up and it's a little bit chaotic. And so what we try and do is we keep the kids with us until they say, "There's my mom in the red shirt, Mrs. Ablin." And I'll look for a mom among the sea of parents out
Please
there.
be waving.
And when you see that happening, your child next to us, if you just give me a high five, and then we'll set them free. And sometimes, grandma comes and picks up. We get all that. We just want to make sure that we don't release anybody until we see where they're going. So
in the beginning, we're not going to have your face connected to your child, so bear with us as we kind of learn you guys and learn all the dynamics of who picks up and who takes home, and so help us out a little bit with that as you see us struggling.
we're tired at the end of
Yeah.
the day, just like your kids. Tuesdays last year
Yes.
was a late day. We got out at 3:05 because we had pullouts. Again, we haven't seen the schedule yet, but we're presuming that Tuesday is going to be a 3:05 day. That happens to be your child's first day of school, so it's going to be a
that's
long
right.
day for them anyway, and a little bit longer because of the pullouts if we have those at the end of the day. So just remember, we'll send you a blurb if it's
We'll
not going to be
remind
on
you.
Tuesday, but Tuesday it'll be a little bit longer day.
Yeah, so don't panic when you show up at 3 and we're not out yet. Around 3:10, we start to kind of gather the troops and head towards extended care. We don't have final info on where that is yet. I assume it'll be in a similar place to where it used to be. So we'll kind of start to move that direction around 3:10, maybe 3:15. We'll figure those details out. And if you need that extended form, please let us know when you come to your parent meeting, because they want to have your information on file and have them all registered for extended care from the beginning. And that's only if they're consistently there.
Hand in hand with that is if you haven't arrived at school by 3:10 to pick up your child, we're taking them with us to walk the kids to extended care. So timeliness is important, and we know life happens, but again, if you call the office and let them know, or call one of your pals, they're regularly coming up to us and saying, "So-and-so just called, she's going to be a little bit late."
And it's so nice if you have a text or something that you could show us and say, "She said that I can take them." So that's always helpful. If you have a text from the person that says, "Please get my child," that's so helpful for us to feel comfortable in releasing them.
And we know you can plan ahead and write down the names of the people who are your regular drive shares. So they have that on the form, because we don't release them to just anybody who comes up and says,
Yeah.
"I have permission." Third grade is a magical year. We just are so blessed to be able to teach it. But we need you to know that it's not second grade anymore. Social
So
dynamics are just like whiskers on all of them.
Yes.
Things are changing rapidly for them, and it gets a little dicey sometimes. He said, she said, they're desperate if their best friend plays with someone else. They don't know how to handle that. We work on it. In the beginning, our religion that we study is peacemakers. And we go through these situations. We have situations where we say, "How would you respond to that? How could you respond to that? How did that make you feel?" We're talking about this constantly, but just know that really towards the second half of third grade, it's very
Friendships.
exciting.
Friendships get challenging, and they're devastated by something that just broke their heart. But we need you to let us know about those situations so we can watch and help. And we also need you to stay calm in those situations.
Downplay anything
Yes.
you can. Like, "Oh, really?
Yes, and talk about the whole picture too with them, because sometimes what they saw was just a little piece of what's big and going on. So really helping them to see and work through those problems that they're having and include us, because we are here, we're watching, we see, and we can help to communicate all of the big picture with you as well.
And
So-
sometimes we can let you know what really happened.
Yes.
Perspective.
Yes.
And another thing, if there's something happening in your life, grandma, the dog, something that might impact their world here in the classroom, please don't hesitate to let us know. This is where we live, this is what we do. And so we can keep an extra eye out or be prepared for a different reaction or a different student who comes in that day because something's happening.
Big or little, it doesn't matter how little it is. Sometimes those little tiny things, like Fluffy the hamster is no longer with us, those things affect them, and it is so important for us to know so we can be there for your child and also keep an eye out to see if there's anything that needs to be addressed. And we're here to help you with that.
We firmly believe that your child is in my class because that's where God would have them be, and that they're in Mrs. Green's class. We know that we are here for a reason. We are gathered in these two little classrooms to bless your children and to love on your children. We ask for your prayers. It's a lot to do. It's going to be a little bit of a transition back after what we went through last year, but the one thing we learned last year is how resilient your children are. They're like, okay, what's next?
We'll do it, yeah.
And we want to come alongside them and be there for them throughout this day, throughout this year, and we ask for your prayers in that.
Yes, and we're so excited that your kids are our kids. And I love to tell my students that you're my kid for your life. You are mine. You are one of my kids. And it's so fun to see your kids as they grow and move through St. John's. It's just the coolest thing. And now as I see some of my first kids going off to college, my little tiny third graders, they're still my kids. So you're mine. Sorry. I hope you
We're so grateful.
I hope you embrace it.
All right.
That's enough. We went on for way too long.
Sorry.
We appreciate you bearing through all of that with us. We'll see you at our meeting.
All right. See you next week. Send us an email if you need something.
Yes. Bye.